directly into Aliens versus Predator. Not even the semi-decent one. The Aliens versus Predator.
Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Oh, that's what it was called. Jesus Christ, those movies.
Yeah. And we're live. This is Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault with Omnibroslive on a Monday, where it's hauls, previews, book reviews, and reads. So tonight it's 8 o'clock. Well, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock. Sorry, but we've got with us an empty chair and Gio from A Week in Geekdom. Gio, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, everybody. Doing pretty well. I am very happy to be with you guys and, of course, with our audience. So, hey, I'm the eye candy today. So,
okay, eye candy. We have the uncanny Omar. Omar, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great. Happy to be here with you.
Oh,
guys
holy fucking
tonight.
started.
And we have the empty chair has now been filled with the empty head. What's up, buddy? Gabe?
My head's not empty, just the top of my scalp is.
Oh, all right. All right. Take it easy. What's up, Gabe from Gabe Infinity Watch?
I'm doing great. Spent this weekend at a retailer summit for Diamond, who is the distributor for all things comic books. So I got a couple things to kind of show off and some news that I could probably aren't supposed to share, but nobody told me not to. So I got some news for some stuff that we could chat about today as well. When you're a retailer, and you go to these like sales summits, everybody just throws information at you because they just want you to buy everything that they have. So I got some future scoops on some cool stuff, especially from if anybody's interested in Boom.
I am.
I got some Boom information for people.
As of right now, I have not gotten IST's percentages breakdown.
Oh yeah.
I haven't got that either. That sucks. I wanted to do something special about that.
If it comes in before we end, we'll tell you guys what the 50% off titles will be. Hopefully, one of them will be Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4.
Probably, but we'll see. We'll see because it is a. Excuse me, I'm a pig. There is a DM cover for Spider-Man Volume 4 that I'm sure some people are already hitting F5 on, or if you're a Mac user, Control R to refresh that website.
Yes.
Or if you're just
Control
Q.
Now you got the upper hand on us, but we do have a bet going. Gio, do you remember what everybody said yesterday?
No, I said 15 minutes.
Damn it,
That's
Gio.
all I remember.
Well, to be fair, I don't have an upper hand on the bet. I have an upper hand on being able to get product before you guys do and not having to worry about F5ing things and stuff like that.
You got an upper hand on whether you're usually the first one to find out if it's something is out of print or out of stock.
Word.
I think Jess said 2 hours and 30 minutes. I said 3.5 hours.
I said an hour and 20.
I don't remember that. All right.
Of course you don't, because that's not what I said.
Okay, I said 3.5 hours.
I think Jess
which
said
is the
like
most.
under 15 minutes.
No, Gio said under 15 minutes. He said this is the one that's going to break the berserk, and that's for the DM of Volume 4.
Mhm.
And I think Luis said about an hour and something. I think he's the one that said an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know what the hell Jess is thinking.
No. Because then you said it was going to be like an hour and 19 and 59 seconds to mess with me.
Yes. If we were playing the Price is Right.
This Price is Right rules, huh? You can't go over $1.
I was playing it safe. So how long do you think it's going to last, Gabe?
Okay, let me ask a more specific question. Are we talking about it selling out completely or in-stock trades initial first order?
With Volume 3, like it sold out within a day, and then they got another shipment like 2 weeks later, and then once that was gone, that was it.
Right. So let me double check. Yeah, I think it's going to sell out within the first half an hour. Because I mean, I don't know.
Half an
I'm
hour.
not privy to how much in-stock trades is getting of the DM cover, but I know there's some ravenous people out there who are already concerned and worried about it selling out. So their servers are going to take a hit. So I think it's going to sell out pretty quick. But I'm going to look it up I don't think the DM cover is sold out through Diamond, which means
That's a good sign.
That they could get more in stock. They might have already made a new reorder of it already. I don't know, but I don't think it's sold out. I think it'll sell out, and then it'll get another stock in within the next week or so, and then it'll sell out and be gone. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The DM cover is still good. It's still orderable. We'll see how long that lasts, though.
I mean,
But I think their initial. I think we're going to start seeing the panic happen after about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, my goodness.
15
Back
minutes.
in my day, you had to go to the comic book store to get your books to sell out. 15 minutes,
I mean,
my goodness.
Omar, don't you get your books through DCBS still, or do you?
Yep,
are you?
I do.
Okay. So you don't have a lot to worry about because you already ordered your.
Well,
your,
and I'm
your
also the
gross,
I'm,
not DM cover.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm also the guy that doesn't get the DM cover. So unless the cover is completely hideous, and looking at Conan and New Warriors, that's about it, really. Everything else, I don't mind getting the variant cover. Like even for Savage Sword of Conan, you know, I was in there, so I'm helping the cause.
keep in mind, it's a volume 4, and it's the death of Gwen Stacy for the first time in omnibus form. So a lot of people are going to be really excited to pick this up.
There's
Just
a lot
saying.
of good issues in that book. A
Yeah,
lot of good issues.
It's the very, very tip of the Clone Saga too. Like the very beginnings of the Clone Saga are in there.
Real quick in the chat already. Omnipool, yeah. Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and Michael Aldred is out of stock in Diamond, which is the first indicator that it is going to be out of print. So that is out of stock at Diamond. Completely out of stock. It's done.
Should have grabbed it when they could.
Dude, we talked about this in the chat, and Jess brought it up. Jess was throwing some major shade because Jess was like, "Man, we talked about that before it came out, when it came out, after it came out, and nobody listened to us, and now it's gone or on the verge of disappearing." And then FOMO is starting to strike, and people are now trying to hit it up as much as they can. It is gone though. So what that means for anybody who doesn't quite understand is Diamond Distributor, the company that actually I went to their summit for this weekend, their stock, they are the ones that supply every comic book store in America and parts of the world as well, but mainly America because USA is the only one that counts. When they're out of stock and it's completely out of stock, like when I look at the information, there's like a red like Ghostbuster sign, like the slash. It means they have nothing left in their warehouse and that Marvel doesn't have anything left to restock their warehouse. It is done. Whatever is on store shelves now, and especially now that did that liquidation sell 2 weeks ago, that whatever you guys find on the shelves is going to be it until they make a reprint, which I don't think is ever going to happen. At least not anytime soon. Marvel does not reprint Silver Surfer stuff, or else we would have that Jack Kirby. I'm sorry, not Jack Kirby. The John Buscema, Stanley Silver Surfer stuff available, which we don't, and it's a freaking crime. It's the one thing I have on my shelf. I have the DM cover, or not the DM cover. I have it's like ribbit cover, which is nice, but it's not the John Buscema cover, and I hate it. I don't hate it, but I hate that I don't have the comic cover. So that's how it works. And Mike Lombardo, yep, DC Omnis do sell out. But what the things that we've seen happening in DC and their collective editions department, and some of the things that Jim Lee mentioned during the summit this weekend, they have restructured that department a little bit. They scaled back, and hopefully that means they start putting out better Omnis that are lower in print runs, because I think they overprint those things a lot. Overprinting. So what's up, fools? How's everybody going? What's up, Gio? You haven't said much today, man.
No, I'm just basking in the information. I love it.
Absorb it all in, man.
Yes. It's pretty cool. Like, we got an inside OmniBro.
And Annihilation, I don't think it's ever going to get reprinted. I think Annihilation, wasn't that? This is before my time, before I was hanging out with you guys, but wasn't that liquidated too at one point? I know Annihilation Conquest was.
Annihilation was one of those books that it took a long time to sell out.
Okay.
They didn't print that many, and then it was gone. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that.
So basically, listen to what we say about what books are good and that you should be picking up, so that you don't run into this kind of situation with the Dan Slott, Mike Allred, Silver Surfer disappearing. So good luck finding it, everybody. You have my high hopes. But that's a beautiful book. I think Jess said that he cried like a baby reading it.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a great story. Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do we want to start out with? Or should I talk more about books going out of print and stuff like that?
Sure.
You guys want to hear about me talking to Boom Studios today?
I
what
would
was that
like
about?
to hear that.
All right.
Yeah,
So at the Diamond Summit, it's really cool to go to these summits because they actually they fly in a lot of top talent, and it's almost like a mini convention with booth setups for each of the publishers, and then the publishers will have. It's basically a giant sales presentation. I don't know if anybody's ever had a job where you go to like a sales presentation, or if you go to kind of like a state of the union or state of the business type meeting. Like
They always treat you like gold.
Yeah, they treat you like gold, and they have these big presentations that tell you all the numbers that happened this year, and it's all because of you guys. And you're like, yay, our job loves us. This is great. But then you realize this is all bullshit, and it's just kind of pander. That's exactly what this is. But it's from every publisher in comic books, like Marvel, DC, Boom, Humanoids, Viz, and Kodansha, Dark Horse. Like every publisher that's basically in the front half of Diamond Previews magazine, and some of the smaller ones are all there, basically kissing ass, feeding you food, open bar, all that kind of fun stuff. So some of the top talent that was there was Mark Waid. He's starting a new publishing line through Humanoids. That's going to be like original stories, because Humanoids is really their main like stake in the business right now is reprinting like Jodorowsky stuff and Mobius stuff and things like that. But now they want to get into original publishing. And I got this one book that Mark Waid gave me called The Ignited that he signed, which is one of his first big books coming out from Humanoid's superhero run.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So I was chatting him up and talking to him. I'm there on business with Torpedo, and I'm talking about, hey, what's your schedule look like for signings? Do you do signings? Like, where do you live? This all gives me ideas. Me and the rest of the brain trust at Torpedo on how we can book people and get things flown in and logistics and fun stuff like that. So during that conversation, I also came up with the topic of Irredeemable, and I was like, Mark Waid, what happened with Irredeemable? Why is some of these volumes super out of print and going for crazy money? And he hates the idea that they're out of print. It's kind of out of his hands.
How is it out of his hands? Because I thought he had a stake in Boom at first.
I don't know, but he told me go over there to Boom Studios because he was with the Humanoids, and he said talk to Philip and tell him what's going on. So I go over to Boom Studios. I talk to Philip. I go, hey, bud. I get into my whole Torpedo. I get into my whole Torpedo stuff first, like because they're giving you free stuff. They're giving you free comics and free trade paperbacks and all this stuff to kind of hand out to your customers, and free taste so that we order more books and things like that. And I go, all right, man. Hey, I got a bone to pick with you. It's a personal bone to pick with you. It's not business side or publishing side. Like when it comes down to retailers and you guys, but. What is going on? I was talking to Mark Waid, and he told me to talk to you about Irredeemable. And he goes, oh, he's like, yeah, I know. Are you going to ask me about what happened to the rest of the Absolutes? And I was like, no, I don't give a crap. Nobody cares about the Absolutes anymore, man. I get it. That boat has sailed. It's all good. but I'm going to talk to you about the premiere hardcovers. And we were talking about it for a second. Yeah, certain volumes are out of print, like number 4 is out of print. It goes for a lot of money. And he goes, yeah, we know it's out of print. And he basically said that they're going back to print with those. But
Nice.
This is the kicker, and this is not nice. They want to do trade paperbacks.
What?
And I was like, come on, dude. I was like, you can't do that. You got to go back and get these hardcovers, because even Mark Wade and myself, we talked about it. People don't want to buy 1, 2, and 3 if you can't get 4. You don't. If you're missing 1 or 2 volumes that you can't get, nobody's going to buy any of it. So I pull up my phone. I already looked it up on eBay, because I go to this guy pre-information loaded, and I pull up eBay sales, and I go, hey man, I was like, take a look at this. Irredeemable Volume 4 is like $154, and he stumbled. He literally stumbled. Like, he had no idea that these things were going for this much money on the second market. So he gave me his business card, and he goes, hey, screenshot any of the big sales that you see like that, and send it to me, because that's the kind of stuff that we don't know about, and it's information that we really want to put into our database about things.
Wow.
So that goes for anybody out there. Literally, you could probably at Boom Studios on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, of these books going up in price.
They've done that with what's it called? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Right. So that's another thing.
Right.
So we're talking about Irredeemable right now, but I'm talking about Power Rangers. So do that, everybody. If you find these books going for crazy money, screenshots at these publishers. If you know people at these publishing companies, and I don't mean they're creators. I'm talking about homeboy here is president of publishing and marketing. So you want to know, get into people like that, get them informed.
So everybody,
maybe something can come up. But you guys have your marching orders for this now. And I also mentioned Jess. I was like, hey, my one of my co-hosts on my show, you talked to him before, and you gave him a tip as a finder's fee for all the copies of Irredeemable that he's helped sell through our show. And he laughed, and he remembered we talked about you for a second.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Power Rangers. We talked about Power Rangers. How Power Rangers is going super crazy, and it's out of print, and it's going for crazy money.
Very super crazy.
It is. So what they have in store and what they have their ideas of right now is they want to do like a double bind slipcase, like 2 hardcovers. They reprint the hardcovers and put them in 1 slipcase with like a new wrap cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that if you guys, for anybody looking for Power Ranger hardcovers to get reprinted. Sounds like they are, and they're going to make it into a really cool slipcase, like double slipcase. It's probably going to be
not a bad idea.
but that's going to be cool as shit if that comes out.
Yep.
That's going to be
people that have missed out. That's what they've done with. They used to have like the duck books. They used to do that with.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool for people that have missed out.
Yeah, it's going to have new art on it and stuff too. So I like the idea of that. Speaking of other out of print stuff, Eric Powell from Goon was there. That guy's awesome. He's cool. He did his really great presentation about his new company because he restarted Goon at #1 again, and he's there to promote that in his Albatross publishing company. Goon's coming out with a trade paperback omnibus pretty soon, and I asked him about the library editions because again, like, what is it? I think volume 3 is like super out of print and going for a lot of money. Uh-huh. And we were talking about that, and he blamed all on not Diamond, all the Dark Horse. Dark Horse didn't print enough. Nothing I could do about it now because he doesn't work with Dark Horse directly anymore. So again, maybe if people want to maybe blow up Eric Powell on Twitter a little bit, he's somebody that you can. I said don't do creators, but he is, that's his own publishing company he's got going on. So you got to show interest to these people, and that might be the best way of doing it. So maybe we'll get new library editions for Goon, or maybe other omnibus that is a hardcover omnibus, not a trade paperback. Nothing wrong with that, but we all prefer hardcover stuff around here. Mm. But that Philip guy I was talking about, I gave him our card. He seems to be pretty interested on coming on the show and talking about that kind of stuff. So nice. We'll see what comes up with that.
Get blasted.
Yep. I told him that. I was like, dude, you can come on our show and we'll talk about it, but we'll probably browbeat you about this kind of stuff. He's like, hey, that's information that we could use. So
That's awesome.
that'd be fun. Yeah, that's it for that stuff. And I'll get into my hauls and that kind of stuff a little bit later. But so that's the fun stuff that I had happen during that Diamond convention. Besides going to like the suite and meeting Jim Lee again and hanging out with him for a little bit and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff going on there. We had a big, they did a bus tour here in Nevada. There was 3 big ass buses full of retailers from all over the country and all over the world. A lot of people from Canada came down for this summit. Because the summit it's not just kissing ass and making us try and buy stuff. Diamond is also there with a lot of like panels and workshops on how to improve your store and improve the use of their tools and lots of good stuff like that. So it's a really good educational thing for a lot of these retailers. I was hoping that the Merklers were there. I was hoping IST was going to be there, but they weren't. I'm guessing because they don't have a brick and mortar store, so they probably don't get much out of these kinds of shows. But yeah, so lost my train of thought there, but that's what happened with that.
Very cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had fun too.
Oh yeah, so the bus tour, that's what I was talking about. So they did this big bus tour of all these different comic book stores in town. And of course, Torpedo was the last stop. Because if we were the first stop, we would just ruin everybody on the other stops. But it was great. Like we had the tour buses were about 150 people plus. And Jess has been in the store when he had a signing. And we could hold that many people in the store, and it was packed. It was just like a signing. All kinds of publishers were in there. It was taking pictures. Like I do the social media for Torpedo, and a lot of our social media just blew up, like followers and ads and shares and all kinds of fun stuff. So that was super cool. So
yeah, I've been to several comic book stores in Las Vegas, and yeah, it would be unfair to them if yours was the first one for them to stop at. Yeah.
You guys have an at.
We have a moving at.
I think it's cool.
It's amazing.
It was funny because we had everybody was taking pictures of it, and we don't really turn that thing on because it's mechanical and it's a little loud and it gets very torturous after like 20 seconds of it being on. But when the store is full of people, you don't really notice it. So we left it on there and all that. Like I said, it was 3 tour buses. They didn't all show up at once. They kind of spaced it out because most stores in town can't hold 150 plus people. But we were the only store where the buses caught up to each other, and then we were able to hold all 150 plus people in there. And we were under the impression that this is going to be like a tour, and we were going to go, hey, here's this, and here's that, here's how we do this, and this is the decision why we did this. Because these bus tours are really so these other stores get an idea of how other stores run, big stores, small stores, medium stores, stores that have strictly comic books like us, stores that do a lot of gaming like other stores in town, other stores that do like a lot of pop culture and like pops and figures and t-shirts and stuff like that. So you get this really diverse look at different comic book stores in town, and they can take best practices back home with them and implement them or come up with their own ideas, whatever the case might be. But we were so it just ended up just turning into, we just got ransacked. Like people were just walking all over the place and was buying things like crazy. It was a really good sales day for us for a random Saturday. We were basically told by some of the people on the bus tour that our store was, most impressive and probably where people spent most of their money was at our store. So that's awesome. And that's my 25-minute rant on how cool Torpedo Comics is. After a while, I was like, I need to shut up. I'm just kind of just bolstering myself, and that's obnoxious. But we have 82 people watching. So
no, it's all right.
No,
so follow Torpedo Comics on Instagram at Torpedo Comics, and you can see all the kind of cool stuff we got going on there. You could probably, you could still catch. I did a big long story on our Instagram of Todd McFarlane announcing not Spider-Man, announcing Spawn 300 and 301. So you can probably still watch that. It's pretty cool. And I'll talk a little bit more about Todd McFarlane later in the show.
Yes.
Oh, did you get a Spawn video game or something?
Oh, that'd be so cool. They have them out there, but yeah, damn it. I wish I would have had it. Oh, well, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll get into some Hall stuff, and we'll see what's going on.
Okay.
How many
Gio, what?
posters you can't wait for Umbrella Academy, and they showed them there, and they were awesome.
Oh,
Not the actual books, but they had like, it's all
Mock-ups?
PowerPoint presentations and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't wait for those things to come up.
Gio, did you haul and or read anything?
I haven't read anything. I did haul some stuff, but the package, as always, is pretty late, so I don't have anything to show today.
You neither hauled nor read.
Yay.
Ah, okay.
It's the eye candy comment.
I see. Okay, and you didn't get the review books either then.
Exactly.
Ah,
So
okay.
pretty useless tonight.
You're never useless, Gio. Come on, man.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we need one more Hispanic on the show.
Gotta fill that quota.
That's right.
The Uncanny Omar. What did you read this week?
I read the book that we were supposed to from IST. I read Gypsy that our good friend Kyle sent us, which is awesome. I don't know if you guys have read this. I mean, did you ever read this, Jess? I feel like I know that you have it, but it feels like one of those books that you've got sealed.
I have
There it
it,
is.
and he sent it to me, but I already have it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to be auctioning it off tonight, giving it away to a viewer because I've already got it.
Auctioning it off.
Kyle was nice enough to send me this book, but I've already got it. So I'm going to give it away free to one of the first 15 viewers that sends a I want it. It needs to be. This is the Gypsy Omnibus.
It's solid.
Yeah, Omar's going to tell you how awesome it is in a second. But you need to send in your name to omnibroslive@gmail.com. This is an amazing book. And our friend Kyle sent it to me, and I appreciate it, Kyle. He knows I already have it. But this is a really good one. Send your name, and in the header, put Gypsy Omnibus. And I will take the first 15 names, omnibroslive@gmail.com. I will take the first 15 names and run them in a random number generator. And whoever wins, it needs to be United States only because I'm paying for the shipping, gets the Gypsy Omnibus. And tell them what they could win, Omar. Tell them about the Gypsy Omnibus.
Okay, sure. You've read it already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I want to say this originally came from France, but I could be wrong, right? I know that Dan Panosian was a big fan of this book, and he, like, a lot of the art is inspired by it. But to me, the art reminds me a lot of Katsuhiro Otomo, the guy that did Akira. Like, very early 80s, especially because it took him a long time to finish the book. So pretty much it's this world. It's a alternate future where the snow is on the ground and this guy's a truck driver. So it reminds me of a mix of Snowpiercer, Over the Top, and Akira, if you will.
Over the top.
You know where I'm going with that. I mean, look
Yes,
at
I do. That's funny.
look at him. Look at the gypsy. He looks like my boy Stallone. I'm trying to find a picture where he's not naked. Hold on. Because he's always banging chicks and drinking, so he's like that kind of dude. And he's trying to deal arms because he's trying to pay some debt off, and his sister comes back into his life. I don't know. I find it really cool, man. I'm almost done with it. I haven't finished reading it, but I like the whole journey and just the locations, and the art is solid. It's like a colored version of Akira, really. And I'm sure they borrowed heavily from that because it really looks like his artwork. Even so much so, like the facial expressions, like when they get excited. Solid read. Good luck to whoever wins this because this book is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. That was not the only book I read. There's another book. Hold on a second. This one right here, Infidel. Did you guys ever read this?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, dude. Awesome, right?
The
Talk
haunted
about
apartment building. The
it's
haunted racist apartment building.
Yes, it's such a political comic book, but done really slick. Like, you forget about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a certain undertone, but then it's in your face, but it's more of a horror story. Yeah, love it. Look at that art. I know the first person to talk about this on the show was Louise.
Yeah.
He went on about it because all I remember was the name of the creator. And you and I were trying to pronounce it, and it was like Porn Shack. And I think Gabe was on the show too. Like Porn Shack, Pashodi. Like we were just having fun with the name. But man, this book turned out to be awesome. I really, really liked it. And then Infinity War, because we're reviewing that tomorrow for old reader, new readers. I did get to read that. And among other couple things that I've done reviews on my channel. But that, yeah, that's it. That's all I got to read this weekend. Because it was Game of Thrones weekend. What about you, Gabe? Or, I'm sorry, Jess, sorry.
No, let me give a promo again for Gypsy Omnibus. If you want, be one of the first 15 to write into omnibroslive@gmail.com for your free copy of the Gypsy Omnibus. This is a super nice book, super nice presentation. Omar just told you how great it was. In the United States, first 15, put Gypsy Omnibus in the header. And omnibroslive@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Gabe.
Yeah, go to Gabe. Geo neither read nor hauled.
You don't need to call him out again.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to call you out.
He feels bad.
Shaming
he
him.
doesn't need to feel bad. I'm just saying that
Nerd
whatever.
shaming him, man.
Nerd shaming him.
It's okay. I don't mind if it's Jess.
Yeah, Jess gets away with a lot that we couldn't
yeah, that's crap. That's crap. Anyway,
that's white privilege.
Oh, brother.
All right, Gabe.
So
What'd you
let's
get,
take a look. I got a couple of video games and other fun stuff. So I did pick up a complete in box Ninja Gaiden.
Ooh.
Yep.
Gaiden, however you want to call it.
I told you that story that as a kid I thought it was Ninja the Gaiden for the longest time because I didn't know that was kanji. True story.
I can see that. I can't be mad at you about that. That makes sense. But yeah, so I picked that up.
Mhm.
I also picked up a first print of Metroid on the NES. Nice. It's a 5-screw, so that's how you know it's one
Which
of the
cover?
early ones. That cover.
Okay, the classic. So the reprint cover is rarer. The one that has like a. It has her on the
standing there with the gun. Yeah.
That one's rare because it was at a.
I want the old school.
You want the classic look? Yeah, that's
sprite looking one.
That's the first
exactly. Yeah. And plus, like the 5-screw stuff is getting kind of hard to find too. So I like the 5-screw for those first prints. Also, like I was talking about earlier at the Diamond Convention or the show, I did pick up that Humanoids Ignited #1 from Mark Waid. Our buddy Frank Gogo, I hooked up with his publisher for a little bit. We talked for a while. Source Point Press, and I got a copy of his Grief.
Great book.
Yeah, I also got from. I met a lot of like the newer writers and stuff like that, and they were there like hustling. Like these guys do, I think they do like 60 conventions a year, which is nuts. That means that every weekend they're at a convention, at least, if not more than like 3 or 5 different conventions the same weekend. So they are on top of it, and they love what they put out. I got Sears, which is this really cool book from Casey Pierce, who ran into at the store. She was one of the ones on that bus tour. Great looking book. The art in here is fantastic. I haven't had a chance to read it. I just flipped through it because she gave it to me today and signed it for me earlier today. So that's really neat and cool. She's got other books coming out as well called Nora that she ran out of. She didn't bring enough to the Diamond show, but good for her. That means she sold out more than she expected to. I ran into Dirk Manning, and he has a new comic book out called Hope, which is about a superhero, a mom who's moonlights as a superhero. So that seemed really cool and fun. So yeah, I talked to them. They got some cool omnibus collected edition stuff like that coming out, and they seem to be pretty interested in the show. We have Frank coming on pretty soon, right? Jess, don't we have him scheduled?
We have Frank coming on next Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. So Frank was actually texting Casey and was like, "Hey, did you run into Gabe? Have you met Gabe yet from Torpedo or from OmniBros?" So she kind of knew who we were already. So hopefully we'll get some of these cool people on the show to talk about their new books. So I spoke with Mark Wade, as I said earlier, and I got this.
Nice.
I got my. I've had this, but I did get my Fantastic Four Omnibus signed by the man himself.
Nice.
Mark Wade did an awesome, very, very great guy. Spoke to him for a long, long time. He's really cool. Talked to him about his appearance on Fangirlz, and he remembered that. And we were talking about all the books he was recommending on there that people were picking up because of his recommendations, things like that. So that was super cool. And then also with this omnibus, this is the David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane omnibus. I ran into a certain Todd McFarlane who signed it for me too. He said,
"That's cool."
He goes, "Here you go, bud," because he says "bud." Like, goes, "Here, bud, you got the biggest autograph of the show." He literally, it takes up the entire fucking page. I was like, yeah, you can sign it right here if you want. He goes, no, that's not gonna look good. I'll do it right here for you, bud. And he goes, you got the biggest one,
bud.
So yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I got this awesome omnibus signed by the man himself, by Todd McFarlane. So that's what I hauled. I didn't read much. I was pretty indisposed for a while. But yeah, so that's what I'm showing off today, guys.
Very nice.
We have a winner in the Gypsy Omnibus. It goes to Mary M.
Oh, good. I like Mary.
Mary, send me omnibroslive@gmail.com. Send me your mailing address, and I will get this out to you in the next couple days. Congratulations, and thank you for playing Win the Gypsy Omnibus on Omnibros Live. And thank you, Kyle, for sending it to Mary via me. So it originated with Kyle and came to me and is now going to Mary.
I had Mary hooked with that over the top reference. She was like, "Okay, I'm in." Love that movie.
What over the top reference? Did you turn your hat around or something?
No, I said the book read like Akira, Over the Top, and Snowpiercer, like a mix of that.
Oh, I thought you just meant Akira, like an over the top version of Akira. Okay.
No, all three of those things. It's great. I loved it. Awesome. All right, it is 8:45. What do you want to guys talk about?
Well, we can talk about my hauls and reads. You always seem to neglect me.
Man, God, I forgot. I'm so sorry, Jess.
Jesus Christ, you suck.
I do.
Oh, Jess, what did you haul, buddy?
What did you get, man?
What did you get, man? From somebody who cares.
I care.
That's Kyle. Oh, well, thank you, Gio.
Gio always cares. He's a good guy.
Kyle was a nice guy. He sent me a bunch of books this week. Devolution. This is a Remender book that I wasn't even aware of.
Dynamite, right? Crazy.
Yeah. Where am I going to put this? I'll put this right here. I got this one today. Ab irato, which is Latin for from anger. I haven't even opened this one. Ooh, the art looks cool, though. I like the art in this already. Mm-hmm. Dystopian world of mounting sea levels and growing economic inequality. That sounds good. Those who can afford it have access to a rejuvenating vaccine that can allow lifespans of hundreds of years. A vaccine controlled by what has become the wealthiest biopharmaceutical company in the world. Okay, cool. I can't wait to read this. This sounds good to me. Dystopian anything is my jam.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for those too.
Yeah. Hap Haven. This looks cool. Superstitious Alex Smith will do anything to avoid a jinx picking up pennies. Step on a crack, break your mother's back. Oh, but she steps on a crack and breaks her mother's back. So something happens and she has to deal with her superstitions. Yeah, this sounds really cool. I like the sound of this book. A Cy Spurrier book that I haven't read yet, Motherlands.
Nice.
Also from Kyle, nicely. And here's a Garth Ennis book I haven't heard of from Kyle. And Jason Burrows, 303. The Ultimate Soldier Meets His Destiny in a Tale from the Creator of Preacher. Well, if it's a war tale, I think Garth Ennis does those damn good. So I'm excited for that. Then in my haul, he sent me this as a read. I don't know if I told you about this. This is something I read though. Black Order. Gio, have you read this yet? I think I asked you.
I haven't read it yet. I want to though.
Yeah. Okay. I read that. So let's see. I hauled Blackbird.
Cool.
There's a magical world hiding in Los Angeles, and Nina Rodriguez knows it.
You read it yet? Have you read it yet?
It was on the top of my pile to read, and I read Black Order instead.
I was going to ask you about that because I love the cover and love the artwork on the inside.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, I like how it looks. Something about magic, so I want to, and the city's magic. Yeah, no, it's totally into me. It's totally into me. I'm into it.
Narcissist here. Wow.
I'm into it. I picked up the Woods yearbook edition. I remember reading this in floppies, and it was really cool. It's about a whole school that gets lifted up and taken to a completely other planet, and how it turns into a little bit of Lord of the Flies, only with adults involved, and so it's really cool. Why are they on this alien planet? What's going on? How are the rules enforced? How are the adults still in charge? It's really cool. I liked it in floppy form. And Omar, yes, I am the only one still getting Astro City.
Yes, you are. That's when you finish that run out. That's when we're going to get that omnibus announced.
Exactly.
When you buy the last one, you're like, I'm done. I can finally read all these.
And 6 days. This book sounded really cool. One of D-Day's worst mistakes becomes an unexpected story of human triumph. So this is a book put out by DC, I think, Vertigo. Yeah, it was about D-Day, and this sounded really cool. Dropped a full 15 miles wide of their intended target, stranded behind enemy lines, a small group of Americans had only one choice: rely on the help of the people of some French town that I can't pronounce, the village where they've been forced to make their
I have to pronounce everything. You get away with I can't pronounce that.
I know better.
Yeah. That's one I was curious about too. It looked really good.
And I hauled and read already Pearl by Brian Michael Bendis.
What did you think?
About it. Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really different and really cool. It's a Jinx World book. Are we going into our reads part now? I mean, I can start.
Oh God, we haven't done reads yet. How about we skip Aliens and the two things because it is already 8:50.
Oh, we have to read it. We have to. I'll just tell you real quick. I loved Pearl.
You don't have to. I mean, you know,
we have to talk about.
Postpone it, man.
No, we have to. I'll just tell you that I loved Pearl. I thought it was great. It was about a tattoo artist who turns out to have an albino Japanese tattoo artist who turns out to have a real talent as an assassin, and it was cool.
Who's the artist? Is it Malieve?
Michael Gaydos.
Michael Gaydos. Yeah.
Okay. Let me open that up again.
Yeah.
His art looks different. Better than what I remember in Alias.
Yeah. Right here.
Maybe
there's
it's
a lot of really cool. There's a lot of really cool pages and passages of art here. Pearl is just really good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next. It's a one and done book, but I can see how she can have several more adventures quite easily. So it was cool.
Okay, good talk.
Yes.
Good talk. Gabe, did you read anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I said it during my haul, but yeah.
Gio, nothing. Okay. Well,
did you read anything, bro?
I did. So I guess we can really quickly talk about that. So let's quickly go through the 2 X-Men books we got from In Stock Trades,
Okay.
which is Phoenix. Where the hell did I put it?
I thought we were going to skip that.
Well, Jess said no. We'll go ahead and
okay.
talk about it.
We have 10 or 15 minutes we can talk about them.
We
And
still
we
got
don't
the
have
previews, right?
We don't have the previews.
Mhm.
I mean, we can do previews, but I don't have the IST.
Yeah, we don't have
info.
the discount.
I don't have the discount info.
So the Return of Phoenix I thought was really good. I thought it was really well done up until I got to like issue 4, and you can click on yourself so you can show some of the artwork.
Okay.
I think it was on issue 4 that I'm like, oh, this got so less interesting, because when it stops being about the restaurant, and when you figure out that, oh, they're definitely gonna get her out somehow. I mean, it's Jean Grey, right? It's gonna be about the Phoenix more so than the supernatural elements of her just being stuck in this world. So she does come back, through. I think when we talked to, God bless, this must have been a year ago when we talked about it. I compared it to Quantum Leap's last episode, where Sam has to go to that bar, and that's kind of like she's working at a restaurant where all these people are there from her past, including Annie, which is the girl, her childhood friend that got killed in a car accident. That's when her mutation kind of sparked. It's when the first time Jean Grey was ever able to use her telepathy, and she synced in with Annie. So overall, I thought it was pretty fun. Obviously, well drawn, different artist, and kind of a weird way to bring her back. Not to say like the being trapped in a cocoon for years underwater was a weird way, like a retcon. But this was just, I don't know. I wasn't satisfied with the way that they brought her back. But I guess, magic, Deathbird, whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you said.
Okay. Good review.
I kind of do. I just don't think that I obviously don't have the background that you do in X-Men, and I was kind of just like let down when I knew it was just this sort of mind thing cocoon that they had to pull her out of, and that the Phoenix Force had created. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Phoenix Force had created this thing to try and recreate her, and pulled her body out of the ground and everything. And so as far as bringing people back, I thought it was an okay way to do it. I guess nobody's really ever a dead X-Man. So I guess I don't know.
No, you're right. Nobody's ever a dead X-Man. That's kind of a sad statement to make. But as I mentioned before, though, she had been longer. Yeah, she had been dead longer from the moment Morrison killed her up until she came back than she was when she died at the end of the Dark Phoenix saga until X Factor 1, which makes me feel super old because to me that was an age of waiting for her to come back.
Well, I like the fact that she got the Phoenix Force to move on without her. I thought that was interesting.
She'll be back.
Interesting that she got the Phoenix Force to move on without her, and I thought that was interesting sentiment on the last couple of pages, that she needs to be. I don't want to die, but I need to be allowed to live, and you need to move on without me. I can't be what you wanted me to be, and I thought that was an interesting sentiment. So I thought that was well done by Matthew Rosenberg. And it was pretty trippy all the way through until you finally figured out what was going on, which I did later than you did.
Yeah. Now, what I did enjoy was the follow-up, which was X-Men Red, and we'll talk about that really quickly. Volume 1 is one of my top favorite X-Men reads I've had in a long time.
I
always say X-Men has been dull for the longest time, but this one stood out. This is Tom Taylor, right? The same guy that did All New Wolverine. So Honey Badger and All New Wolverine show up as part of Jean's team. And I thought this was really sweet because it opens up with the annual where Jean is recruiting both Rachel and Laura, right? So it's like the daughter of an alternate dimension Phoenix with Cyclops, and the daughter of sort of Wolverine. Right?
Yeah.
Two of her, I guess, greatest lovers, even though her and Wolverine never really did anything. But anyway, I thought that was really sweet. I thought the going to get Namor was awesome. I love the way that Honey Badger acts around Namor when she was like, Jesus, put a shirt on. Come on. What are you doing? And I love that they brought back Cassandra Nova as the villain. Like that book, that run, it's only 2 trade paperbacks long. I strongly suggest people to read it because it was so much fun to read those 2 back to back. They're a quick read. And I think Tom Taylor now is it the DC Ceased or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah, he's doing that. And then Matthew Rosenberg is still doing Uncanny until Hickman comes in and just fire bombs everything. Yeah. In a good way. In a good way. They talked about that.
According to creators, they said that hey, this was always the plan. It was just the way that Marvel solicited the things. That it was all the creators knew it was going to be a limited time thing. It was just the way Marvel went out and said, hey, this is not a limited time thing. This is an ongoing Uncanny X-Men series.
He's in charge of all of that stuff, dude. Yeah. For you guys, check our chat. I threw something in there.
I'm good with that. I just saw it.
You like it?
Yep. Do it. Or whatever. I don't know.
Say something? I didn't see anything.
Really quickly, I think all of us can agree. Was Dead Orbit great or what?
I loved it. I absolutely loved every minute of that book. I talked about it when I first got it a month or so ago.
So yes, it's cheesy and over the top, and it's just an aliens movie, right? But who cares? Look at this wonderful artwork. So I didn't know Stocco. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a writer because I know that him and Cy Spurrier worked a lot.
Dude, have you not read Orkstein?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude.
You like Orkstein. Yeah.
I love Orkstein.
I remember you showing us pictures of Orkstein. You're like, I can't show you that. We'll be demonetized. I can't show you that.
It's people getting their wiener cut off.
This was awesome. This was like so much better than probably every Aliens movie after, I don't know. Aliens?
Aliens 3 was cool.
They killed Ripley, man.
All right, I guess I'm going to die on that hill by myself.
I'm sure some other people agree with you, and I kind of liked what Resurrection tried to do, but Alien and Aliens, man, that was it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that was so good, man. I loved it. It was short and it read really quick, but you'll go back and look at the art. That's all I was going to say about it. I'll let you all talk since I reviewed the last 2 books.
Yes. No, you were 100% right on X-Men Red. Volume 1 and Volume 2 were great. I loved them both. And I agree with you on Dead Orbit. I thought it was very interesting. It kept my attention the whole way through. I just thought it was remarkably drawn, and I didn't know the guy. I hadn't read Orkstein either. I was
okay. Now I want to.
Oh, you got to read his Godzilla Century War also.
I thought this was really well done. I understand what Ryley was saying as far as his drawing goes, not being maybe alien friendly, but he drew aliens really well. I mean, look at all the detail going on in this page. This is what you need on an alien book, is some of this detail of I mean, he's like who's that guy?
He's like Jeff Darrow.
Exactly.
Jeff Darrow had like 15 hands.
That's who I was going to say too. Jeff Darrow reminded me a lot of him.
Exactly.
Maybe a tiny bit of like Frank Quietly, the way he does his details. Hey guys, I got to jump off here, but you can catch me live tomorrow at Near Mint Condition on my show. Sorry, I had something come on. So
all right, man. Good luck.
Much
okay,
love.
We'll see ya.
Run with that shirt, man. Y'all be good.
Spoilers.
So anyway, there's tons of great stuff going on in this book, and
just look at the art he does on like the mechanics and like, the chip details and like the paneling on the control decks, and oh god, the guy's great.
The name of the first X-Men book we did was Phoenix Resurrection. The resurrection of I called it the resurrection of Jean. Oh, it's the return of Jean Grey. I called it the resurrection of Jean Grey in my my little promo. It's Phoenix Resurrection, The Return of Jean Grey. And then the second book was X-Men Red. And then this one is Aliens Dead Orbit by James Stokoe.
Yeah, that's a must-have. For me, I love that guy's work, and the stuff he did in Orkstein's fantastic. The stuff that he's done with Godzilla is equally fantastic. If anybody else is into this idea, also pick up, like I said, Godzilla, the Century War, which is another giant-sized book. Like, these books are, I think, like library size.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, they're really large.
I think
books.
so.
But Half Century War. Yeah, Half Century War is another great one. I mean, you're talking about detail. The detail he puts into Godzilla and all the other kaiju monsters is just fantastic. And like we said, he's very reminiscent of Jeff Darrow's style. So the destruction of towns and buildings and things like that is on point. Absolutely fantastic in here as well. And his coloring, he does the coloring as well. His coloring is very much like candy colored, monsters and destruction, but it's cute. It's purples and blues and pinks and cool stuff like that. So he's a treasure. This guy needs to do more work. He needs to get back to Orkstein, but I don't know what the deal is with that. But Dead Orbit's great. I hope he does more alien stuff. We deserve more alien stuff from James Stokoe.
So thank you to IST for our review copies of Aliens Dead Orbit, X-Men Red, and Phoenix Resurrection. Mucho apreciado. Thank you very much. And so are we going to try and do previews? I haven't gotten IST's email. But
how about we ask the chat if they want us to do previews, even though we won't be able to tell them the discounts.
Okay.
I assume, I like to think they come here not just to see what's for sale or what the sell prices are, but to see what exactly is available for this week.
There's a ton of books coming out, so I'm pretty sure they want to know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure they want to know what's going on.
So let me do this thing that I did in the chat. You guys want to talk about that real quick as we let the chat on the video here kind of decide they want us to do previews?
They do, yeah.
Okay. So real quick, do you want me to do the thing that I put into our chat?
Oh, I didn't look. Whatever you want to do is fine.
Okay, so we'll do. All right. So real quick, I'll do a quick screen share. That's why I was asking, because if we screen share, it's I can get right into screen sharing for previews as well. So everybody, real quick, we do have a new T-shirt design up. As you can see here on our Teespring, I just I changed the link in our description to the new link here. This is the debut of the official Omnibroslive Raw Shark T-shirt. This was I was trying to look it up, but you guys caught me off track. Who is the awesome guy that sent this? So this is done. The design on this thing is fantastic. Let me see if I get a better view of it for you guys, because that's just the T-shirts. Now I'm going to scroll through my phone. It is Kaboom Tunes. You can find his name is Jason. You can find Kaboom Tunes on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. This guy's an amazing cartoonist. So big shout out to Jason at kaboomtunes.com.au. He's from Australia, who hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, I made this T-shirt design. What do you think of it?" And I was like, "Dude, this is the coolest thing ever." If I could actually bring up the design. All right, so here we go. Hope everybody can see that. So we actually have Raw Shark by Lane Wayne. This is that inside joke that actually blew up very well on the show, where Omar, I wish he was here. I'm sorry he left. Where he mispronounced Warshak and called him Raw Shark. So now we have this awesome cartoon of a shark with a Warshak style trench coat, hat, and mask kind of thing going on, alongside a really cool designed omnibus spine. That says Omnibroslive, Raw Shark, Lane Wayne. So if anybody's out there is interested in supporting the show a little bit more, we'd appreciate it if you bought a t-shirt. We now have another design t-shirt that people have been asking us for a little bit, but I was waiting for a design to come across. That was the thing. None of us are cartoonists. None of us can come up with these designs. But luckily, Jason from Kaboom Tunes hooked us up, and I owe him a t-shirt. I'm going to have to send him out a t-shirt pretty soon. So,
and Omar is being an amazingly good sport about this, I think.
Yeah.
He is being a really good sport about it. He had to leave because he had some family stuff going on right at 9.
Yeah, I figured. I know how that goes.
But yeah, everybody, if you want to wear a Raw Shark shirt to your favorite OmniBros convention that's coming to a city near you.
So the link to the t-shirt shop is in the chat. I just threw it up there now. So if anybody's interested in going at it, go at it. And thank you for anybody that orders. No one has to. It's there for anybody that wants to support the show and give us something cool. And shout out to Joe Chip. He says, I come here for the kind of information that Gabe gave in the first 20 minutes.
That was pretty interesting, all that stuff.
Kind of gave me an idea of how, these publishers kind of work when it comes down to the omnibuses and stuff like that, and how some of them are kind of out of touch with the secondary market.
Well, yeah, the guy from Boom Studios not even knowing what that... I mean, just saying he just thought it was out of print. He didn't know people were so hungry for it, they were willing to pay $150 for it.
Yeah, so that's good information. Now we kind of have an idea of how to get attention on these books that we want to get reprinted. But that's the thing. They probably just think, oh, well, it took us a while to sell that, so why are we going to make another, let's just say 4,000 copies if it's going to sit around and not sell as fast. But if they realize that people are paying $160 almost for volume 4, then they have an idea. They need to go back to print a little bit on that. All right, so are we going to do previews real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
All right.
Previews.
G. Scott, I can make a long sleeve shirt. We can make any kind of shirt you want. I just threw a basic shirt up there because it's a basic shirt, everyday shirt. Yeah, so if anybody has suggestions on what kind of shirt, if you want a hoodie, it's almost wintertime, or it's almost summertime here in the U.S., and especially here in Vegas, a hoodie would be ridiculous. If it's popular enough, I could do one in the fall, winter time. All right, so let's see. Let me bring up previews. Actually, I got to do this. Screen share. Nope, that's a wrong diamond thing. Nobody wants to see that. All right, so here we go, everybody. This is that's part of the show where we see what comes out this week, May 22nd, at your local comic book store. If you don't have a local comic book store, please check out, or if you want to make massive savings, please visit our sponsor, InStockTrades.com. These will go up on sale tomorrow at noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern. Is that how that works? I always forget.
3 Eastern, yeah.
3 Eastern, noon Pacific. So, all right. So the boys at Image Comics, we have
finally
Black Magic hardcover. So yeah, Black Magic hardcover comes out. East to West Volume 9. That's winding down pretty soon. That series is almost over. Great series from Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan Hickman, did he do Black Magic as well?
No, it's Greg Rucka.
Okay, Greg Rucka. Matador Volume 1. Here's a great book that really blew up. Middle West. Trade paperback Volume 1. That's by Scotty Young, who's writing it, and I forget who.
You're saying that's the great book that blew up?
Yeah, this is a great book. The first few issues really exploded in the secondary market.
Oh, really?
Jorge Corona. I want a Corona now. Art in it's fantastic. Look at the cover. The cover's really great. It's about a young boy who lives in the Middle West and how domestic violence affects his life and things like that. So it's a really cool, interesting story as well. And then Wayward, hardcover volume 3. I know Jess is a big fan of that.
Love Wayward.
Sorry, I skipped Redland volume 2. I have no idea what Redland is, but that is also coming out this week. Dark Horse. We have Elfin Lied Omnibus. No idea what that is. That might be a Geos or
I think
Omar.
Ryley wants that.
Yeah, that's a famous manga from the early 2000s. Elfin Lied.
And then we have Legend of Korra. IDW has Highwayman, Shining Beacon. And DC's got some good stuff this week.
This week's gonna kill me.
Yeah, coming up. I can't. I have to double dip on this. It's going to happen. Absolute Batman: The Black Mirror hardcover. This is one of the greatest runs of Batman. I would say almost ever, but definitely within the last 10 to 15 years. This is the book that broke Scott Snyder into the industry. It's kind of what launched his career. At this point, he was not a nobody, but he was a very small name at the time. Fantastic artwork from, you get Jock, you get Francisco Francavilla, just great stuff. This is the Dick Grayson as Batman era, and there is some beautiful, beautiful work in here. And to be able to see this in a absolute size format is going to be nothing but beautiful. This is a must buy.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, cover price is $100. In stock trades will definitely have that for less. I would like to think it'll probably be. It's going to be at least 42% off, if not more. I'm thinking it's probably going to be around the 50% mark.
Perhaps. We don't know.
We don't know, but we hope.
We hope.
And then we have Cover, Volume 1. That's another book from Brian Michael Bendis and his Jinx World line at DC.
Oh.
It is based kind of on a true story situation where I don't know if it's the FBI or the CIA or some government agency hires or takes on a comic book artist to do some undercover work. Under the disguise of being a comic book artist, they travel the world, and it doesn't seem that important or that dangerous or anything like that, because they're just going from convention to convention to convention all over the country and all over the world. But it's actually it's under the ruse of that, and there's some CIA action. And Bendis is one of the best crime writers out there, so I'm really interested in seeing this kind of stuff. When it comes down to crime and noir and that type of stuff, Bendis is right up there with Greg Rucka and Ed Brubaker and all of them. His crime work is great. Don't know about this book, but it sounds to be in that type of vein, so I'm in there. And David Mack does the artwork, so you can't go wrong with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All the artwork, I believe. He does the covers, and I think he does interiors as well. Yeah, he does everything. So it's going to be beautiful.
Okay. Well, God, I love Pearl. I'll give Cover a try.
Then we have Outsiders by Judd Winnick, which is this is going back a ways, but it's good to see this series back in print. Sandman Volume 8 Anniversary Edition. This is The World's End. This is the 30th anniversary. Scooby Apocalypse, which is actually a really good book. I enjoy this book a lot. This is Volume 5. All right, and then here we go, everybody. Marvel. So we have... This is the second series to make it to Volume 4. We have Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. Sorry, the pictures here are incorrect. Don't get mad at us about it. That's Diamond. We have no control over that. So we have the DM cover, which is not this cover. Sorry, this cover is not the DM cover. I'm sorry, this is not the variant cover. This is the DM cover, which is the original comic cover. The variant cover is the one by Frank Cho, which is the one. Nothing against Frank Cho or anything like that. Good guy. He's a friend of the store. I'm just a fan of the original comic covers. So that's what I will be getting when this comes out. This collects Amazing Spider-Man 105 through 142, along with Giant Size Superheroes number 1 and Marvel Superheroes number 14. So this is a great run. You got Jerry Conway in here. You got Ross Andrew doing the art, some John Romita Sr., some Stan Lee. This is a sweet spot. And as we said earlier, this includes the first appearance of Punisher. This includes the death of Gwen Stacy and the death of Green Goblin, 121, 122. Second appearance of Punisher. A lot of good Punisher stuff in here. This is some fantastic stuff here. So this is definitely going to be a hot item come tomorrow.
These stories really whip.
Yeah. Then we have Champions trade paperback. We have the Fantastic Four Behold Galactus. This was originally a huge monster-sized book. I'm not sure what the format is for this book. It's a trade paperback, so it's not going to be that big. Nobody wants a 2-foot large trade paperback. It'd just be a floppy mess. And Diamond doesn't give us any details. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't want to look it up. But this is really cool. If you did not pick up the giant size hardcover, this reprints basically all Galactus's first appearance, or not first appearance, but his first appearances from Fantastic Four, the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era, John Byrne era, John Buscema era, and you got this really cool cover from Alex Ross. So good stuff there if you don't have the giant hardcover already. And then we have Fantastic Four Volume 2. This is the current run by Dan Slott. And here we go, another Silver Surfer epic collection, Inner Demons. This collects 123 through 138, the -1 issue, and the 1997 annual. I'll be picking this up for sure. I love anything Silver Surfer, and these epic collections are really great. I think this is the 4th epic collection for Silver Surfer, and 2 of them are super out of print and go for a lot of money on the secondary market. So might want to pick that up if you're into that kind of stuff. Then we have Spider-Man trade paperback Sinister 6, Star Comics Planetary. I have no idea what this is. Complete collection. Dynamite has James Bond, the Black Box. I think that's from Warren Ellis. Boom Studios. We give them a little bit of love today. I kind of gave them some hassle earlier, but that's all in the spirit of what a publisher wants and what a retailer wants and what we as consumers want. Amazing Gumball, Advent Guards, Black Badge hardcover. Ooh, that sounds. Anything with a hardcover makes you kind of stop for a second. And the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1. And then down here, Gio, let me know if you see anything you want to take a look at. This is a lot of the manga stuff and other kind of back of
Children of the Whales. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Children of Whales.
Kylar Stern, no, you're not going to be able to wait till next week for the Spider-Man variant.
Don't let it cover.
You're going to need the DM cover. You're going to need to pick up pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you want the classic comic cover, that's going to have to happen probably tomorrow. I still suspect that there will be another stock of it to come after tomorrow, but that depends. I mean, that's not a guarantee. It happens before. I don't want to put anybody's hopes up,
Yeah.
But I also don't want to cause some kind of like FOMO hype.
Yeah,
So
and I also
shred it.
can't. I don't have the paper in front of me for IST, but it's completely possible that the DM variant will not be 50% off because they've done that before, where the Frank Cho type regular cover is 50% off, and then the DM variant is 42% off or 45% off or something like that. So you can't count. I'm not saying they're going to do it because I don't have the paper in front of me. I didn't get it in time, but the DM variant may not be 50% off at IST.
Does anybody have a picture of
stay tuned.
the Frank? If you guys, I'm talking to Jess or Gio,
I
if you could throw
don't
that
know.
Okay, I was gonna say if you could throw that in our chat, I could bring it up and show people the Frank Cho cover if they're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I get maybe if we go to Amazon, look for it. Are you doing that, Gio, or you want me to? I can do it. Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus. They give me the DM version. How do they have the DM version?
That's probably just some generic photo that's just out there. Let me just.
That's weird. That's just like what Diamond had.
Here it is.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Reddit and Google. I hope you guys can see this pretty close. It's a beautiful cover. It's Frank Cho. He does amazing
Yeah,
work.
it actually is a very nice cover.
Yeah, like I said, nothing against the guy. I know him. He's a friend of the store. He's done signings at the store. He's and whatnot. But I like my covers to be the representation of that era that is being represented in the omnibus. So I like the art to match the art on the inside as much as possible. But it's a beautiful cover, just not for me on my omnibus collection. And there you go, everybody. So that is that. Let us know what you're going to pick up. Throw it in the chat. What are you going to pick up this week?
It actually is a beautiful cover.
I like it a lot. It's great. I mean, that's worthy to be like, a phone background or a computer desktop background or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, big print.
I think Mike Lombardo just put it in the chat, so I'll show it so that people can also look at it as well. Omnipool, no, I didn't talk to Todd McFarlane about reprints of Spawn or anything like that. I talked business, like store signings and stuff like that with him. So we'll see what happens. He did a big, long, awesome presentation. Like I said, you can see that on Torpedo Comics, Instagram story. Got the whole thing on there. He talks about he's got Scott Snyder doing some writing chores in it. He has Jerome Pena doing not only a cover but some interiors. Greg Capullo is back for the first time in like 20 years or something like that, doing interior work for Spawn as well, and he's doing a cover. J. Scott Campbell's doing a cover. So yeah, really cool, pretty historic. When issue 301 comes out, because that will officially be the longest running independent comic book.
Nice.
Yeah, Spider-Man 4, the DM cover for me, absolute. Damn it, that Batman book. I just raved about it. Black Mirror. I mean, I have the oversized hardcover that's signed and sketched by Jock, so I can't get rid of that. But I'm going to have to upgrade to the absolute. What else was on there? There's some good stuff this week. I mean, it's a killer week. It's good. It's been a while.
Black Magic and Wayward, plus those two that you mentioned.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting Black Magic, Wayward, Amazing Spider-Man, and Scooby Apocalypse, probably.
I'm gonna go back and get all the Scooby Apocalypse books. That I was reading I was reading them in singles, like the first 12 issues or so. Man, that was such a fun book.
Yeah,
And my favorite part was that I loved it and I was having a good time reading it, and it was great. And everybody in it, not everybody in it, but there's a lot of internet people just still bad mouthing how they thought it was dumb because it was Scooby and zombies. But come on,
whatever.
it's Scooby.
It's a fun version of what we liked.
Yeah, I mean, who's doing the writing on it?
I forgot. Let me check.
It was a guy. He did a lot of work for
Keith Giffen.
DC and like Legion of Superheroes.
Keith Giffen.
Keith Giffen. There you go.
It's fun.
Oh, it's great stuff, man. I'm in it. I wish they would do hardcovers, but I don't think they've done one hardcover for like Flintstones yet, or even that, or Snagglepuss, or any of that Hanna-Barbera stuff.
I think it's the only one that's still going, right? Out of the initial Hanna-Barbera.
It's ending. I think it's either has ended or about to end. It's definitely the longest. Yeah, it lasted the longest. I think.
Yeah.
I think Flintstones lasted 12 issues. Snagglepuss, I think, lasted like 10 issues, maybe.
Something like
I think Snagglepuss was just one volume. Or was it two?
Just one, I think.
Or just one?
There was also the Jetsons, which was 6 issues.
Uh-huh.
Future Quest was 12.
That Future Quest was great, man. Doc Shaner was doing some good work on there. Yeah.
I really wanted that to continue. That's awesome. But,
Yeah, Cerberus made it to 300 and he stopped, Matthew, which makes Spawn at 301 being the longest running independent book. Followed up probably pretty close with Eric Larson and Savage Dragon. So they're going to be battling it out for a while to see who stops first, I guess. Johnny Quest is 2 volumes, they're saying. Flintstones was 2 volumes. Yeah, I know that went for like at least 12 issues. IST updates. Thank you, Matt Miranda, hooking it up in the chat. Yep, IST updates 12 Pacific tomorrow morning, afternoon, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. So everybody better get ready to hit F5.
Speaking of IST, that's where you're going to go if you want to get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. Every quarter, there's an Omnibroslive discount code. If you're in the United States and you order $50 or more in an order, you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Nice.
Johnny Rendo in the chat. Amazon says ASM4 is not released till June 4th. That's when Amazon releases it. Amazon, because of how big they are, it's unfair competition if comic book stores and Amazon got them at the same time. So Amazon they get it like 2 weeks or more later compared to comic book stores.
And I don't know that Strangers in Paradise is going to get made.
Tell us about that, Jess. You mentioned that in the chat before.
Yeah, this is just my humble opinion, and it's based on nothing but gut. My gut reaction is that, and my gut's a lot smaller than it was, so it may not be as smart as it was, but we get a lot of books printed in China. China and Canada are where a lot of our big books are printed. We got a major trade war going on with China right now, and they just hit us back with a boost in tariffs. We slapped a bunch of tariffs on that, and I'm not going to get political at all on this. I'm just going to state the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about anybody responsible, irresponsible, nothing. I'm just going to say what the facts are. The facts are we put a bunch of tariffs on the goods that they import, and we put a bunch of taxes on what we export, they export, import. Anyway, there's tariffs going on. We slapped a bunch of taxes is what tariffs are. So whatever we import from them, taxes go on them. And whatever they import from us, taxes go on those. We are the ones that are going to end up paying that. And books that get printed in China are going to be more expensive to consume. And as a small press publisher, I think that Terry Moore is going to find, by the time he's ready to get those books printed, I think that he's going to find those tariffs have made those books too expensive to get printed at this time.
Oh boy.
You heard it here first, everybody. The sky is falling.
So that is just my humble opinion. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And you get your Strangers in Paradise omnibus, and I will be happy to say I'm wrong, because I've said it for 32 years to my wife. Why won't I say it to you guys? I say I'm wrong to her all the time, because I always am wrong. She's always right.
No, Matt. People should be selling their softcover set to upgrade to the hardcover. Don't believe Jess.
I'm not selling anything.
Well, you haven't even opened yours yet, have you, Jess? You said you were worried because like some of the binding or the way that the housing's put together sometimes isn't the best.
No, it's the leather sticks is what I'm worried about, is how I can slide in some kind of cardboard, because I have to figure out how to get it out without the leather sticking together. The back of the book 1 sticks to the front of book 2 due to something that went on in the printing, and so I'm afraid to open it and pull it out. That's what she said. But I want to stick something in to separate them, because I'm afraid that when you pull them out and you open them up, they stick together and it rips the leather.
Well, now you can take your chance, Jess.
Go for it.
I can't wait for Jess's upcoming 2-part video on tariffs and taxes.
Sounds like a punk rock band.
Tariffs and taxes, tariffs and taxes.
All books in Canada are printed more politely. That's funny. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. So hopefully it's not so bad.
Yeah,
hopefully
maybe
it's not. Hopefully he doesn't just eat it and print them and everybody goes, ugh. How much was the original omnibus? Like $100, $200? What was it? The set.
It was actually pretty expensive. I think it was like $125 or maybe even $150.
Watch it end up being like $200, and everyone's like, pass. I don't want it that bad. Maybe are people selling it on eBay yet? Maybe people just get the first print on eBay if they want it so bad.
That's right, Matt Miranda. Just with that econ degree, UOP. That's right. Omnipool. Just when are we getting that DC Collected Editions video? End of the week. I've already taped it, and videoed it. Taped it. I don't even know what you say. I've already made it, recorded it. And so I'll put it up at the end of the week. I don't want to cannibalize my Marvel videos right now, because they're actually doing well. They're the fastest I've ever gotten that many viewers that fast. So I don't want to put the DC one up yet and eat into my viewership. Oh, thank you, Just Mason. And thank you, Omnipool.
On the VHS. Yeah, do you have to fix the tracking when you make these videos?
The tracking, man. I totally remember the tracking.
Yeah, I do too, man. That sucked.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that because I can't remember the last time I watched a VHS, but I watched this documentary about people who collect VHS tapes, and they had to go fix the tracking. I go, oh man, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah.
You had to turn this little like nipple of a knob to get it to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My forehead VCR. You can only watch movies on channel 3, like you were playing video games back
That's
in the day.
right. Oh boy, that was state of the art though at the time.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember I was a kid, we had one of those big clunky ones that you had to press the eject button and like the top would like open up. Like it was like the whole top of the thing would just open up. You had to slide the thing in there and slam it down. Yeah, be kind to rewind. Yeah. That's not a thing anymore.
Okay.
Right. I was about to say we're kind of just trailing off here, everybody. I think we're running down to the end of the night.
Nostalgia trip for the 90s.
No way, Omnipool. You had to press the pause button when you were recording the show to not get the commercials. If anybody remembers doing that, you had to record your favorite show. Like I would record X-Men cartoons or The Tick. You could watch it, and the commercials would start, and you had to press pause so you wouldn't record it. Yeah. You had to press play and record at the same time to make it record.
Yep.
Man, that sucked.
It's a fun, boring thing that we used to do.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram, Gabe Infinity Watch. I'm also in the Facebook group. Not hooking anybody up with discounted omnibuses on the fuckboy begging out there. Jess, my man, where could we find you at on the internet?
You could find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram.
Nice.
How about you, Gio?
Well, A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube, where I talk about anime, manga, comic books, everything else in between. That's in Geekdom.
Nice. Okay, this has been a great show. Great chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you to all the people watching. And
congrats, Mary. Was it Mary?
Miriam, yeah.
Miriam.
Got the cool omnibus. It'll take about 4 weeks for Jess to remember to mail that out to you.
No, it will not. It's right here. I'll take. Actually, you know what? I'm going to toss in an extra copy of X-Men Red because I already had it. So I'll toss in my copy of X-Men Red and I'll ship it out tomorrow. How dare you suggest it'll take me 4 weeks? Okay. Peace and love. Peace and love. Good night, everybody.
Later.